Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today. Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
Alright, welcome back to the Survival and Basic Badass Podcast. Today, we're going to talk about the Illuminati, the Freemasons, the Bilderbergers, the Knights Templar, the Jesuits, Skull and Bones, Opus Dei, CFR, the Council for Foreign Relations. What do you think?
Are we going to be able to fit this all in a podcast?
Oh, we're going deep.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, so you might have guessed it. What was it you were thinking, Kevin?
One New World Order?
New World
Order.
Order.
The topic is today?
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about people, maybe Rothschilds, I don't know, other
Bushes,
people
man.
with scary names.
The Bushes with
the Bushes.
Majestic 12.
Freaking, the
Prescott.
whole royal family.
Mm-hmm.
We're going deep. So, people who celebrate Satan and Lucifer and Scary Dark.
You're not going to tell me that Prince Harry is in the Illuminati.
Prince
I always
Harry.
liked him, man. He's a ginger.
Like Harry. So, anyway.
I guess being a ginger, he does have no soul, right? So,
Exactly.
I mean, that's a dead giveaway right there.
That's what I'm getting at now. You're starting to understand. So, I guess what the idea, the underlying theme, now I'm not saying that, I mean, you can't say you don't believe in these things. All these things exist.
Mm-hmm.
There are Jesuits. There was the Knights Templar. The Illuminati was a real group back in the day, supposedly have disbanded. The Masons, they're real. I can introduce you to some. It's not, so whether you believe, whether the conspiracy goes as deep as you think, and maybe what's weird, what you always hear is, I guess what I read in that Federal Reserve book, remember I did all the research, we talked about the Federal Reserve. Mm-hmm. They kept saying that all these organizations have outer circles and inner circles. And the outer circle may not know what the inner circle is doing. And I'm not full-on crazy that, they're sacrificing babies on the inside and the guys on the outside don't know. Whatever. A lot of this is speculation. We are going to get into some of the deeper truths that have come out over the years. Things do, seem to come out, 50 years later. Oh, well, we were really crazy back then.
Yeah,
sure.
Not anymore.
We used to, sacrifice animals and drain the blood on little babies so that way they'd be able to become shapeshifters when they grew up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did that back in the 80s. But I mean, now that we're civilized, come on. So it's not the full on, I just want to say, it's not that we think all this is like a looming thing, but there are people out there that believe some of this. Mm-hmm. And a lot of what we're going to discuss is based on actual, journals and things from people who were involved and in the groups and things that have come out. Now, I guess one of the big things that's a difference between the New World Order types, and that's really where I wanted to take it. I didn't want to delve into, the pentagram is evil because of this, or, we like upside down crosses or whatever the hell. None of that matters. I don't give a shit. If you want to go, have your orgies and, I don't know what you do, but whatever, more power to orgies. You. Right. I could give a shit what you're doing there. That's not my concern. My concern and what I wanted to talk about in today's podcast is how it affects us as citizens of the world, citizens of America. And, even if we don't believe that God and Satan are at war with each other and whatever, and maybe you do believe that. And, I tend to take the Bible at face value, that it does have value and is legitimate. But that's not the point. Whether you believe the Bible or not, these people do.
Right.
They do. Now, I guess one of the differences I was going to get to is, like a Satanist, they don't think Jesus and God and any of that's real. An atheist, there's no such thing as God. Now, the people who are in these organizations, at least at their founding and at the inner circle, they believe that God is real, that Jesus was real, that what you see in the Bible is real, but they choose to take the side of Satan and Lucifer, and they think, hey, it's not going to play out like the book of Revelation says. Actually, we're going to win the war, and it's going to, end up like that. And that's some pretty deep, weird shit. So I think to understand what these people are trying to do, you kind of have to take in a little bit of the Bible and kind of have an understanding of Revelation and what's supposed to happen. Now, we're going to talk about, I don't want to do a big Bible study of the book of Revelation. I thought about doing that and, kind of going deep into this big, thing, but a million people have done it before. And I know that that isn't what this podcast is about. We're not Bible teachers. There's a podcast for that, but today is not that day. Doesn't mean I don't accept a lot of that. It just means that's not this forum. That's not what we're here for. However, we are about being prepared and protecting your family from the world that's out there. And you guys would I'm like a true preacher man when my hands waving. You guys are really missing
no, it's really something that is lost in the podcast.
It gets lost, So the idea is we're going to try and talk about, because these people are working against what the Bible predictions are, kind of what they say that they believe, what we understand their agenda to be, and how it's going to affect you and how you're going to be able to prepare for it. I guess that's where I wanted to go with this podcast. Because, you know what? If they have, they go down this big, deep, dark road and try and control us into one government and all being kind of enslaved, that's something you as a prepper kind of need to prepare for. And whether you believe the Bible, whether you believe in all these organizations, it doesn't matter because they believe it.
Right.
And I guess that's my point. They believe it, so you kind of at least need to be aware of it. And if you see the signs as they're coming up, then you'll understand what to expect and what to prepare for. Whereas if you just pretend, that's crazy and nobody's like that, I hate to say it, you're being naive, because a lot of people in power do believe some really crazy, fucked up shit.
That's true.
And today we're going to kind of get into it.
Now, do you want to do I did a little bit of research on the origins of the Illuminati. You want to get into that real quick?
I feel like that's kind of the foundation. I think, the Rothschilds in the beginning, and I know they're not truly tied to the Illuminati foundation here. it just kind of all conspired around the same time and whatever. But let's get right into the meat within the nut here, because a little background will kind of help you. Everybody see what's happening.
Now, the Illuminati that most people think of as the Illuminati was founded in Bavaria, which is part of Germany. Founded on May 1st, 1776, just a couple weeks before our country started.
Oh, that's coincidence.
A few months. Yep. And their
goal... what you're saying, wait, as God was creating America and something good, Satan was creating something evil on the other side of the world?
Well,
yin and yang, if you will. All right, go on.
All right, so their stated goals were to put an end to the machinations of the purveyors of injustice, to control them without dominating them.
Ooh.
So to control the government, but not by being a king or a president, but by affecting change within the government without being noticed. So I think that's pretty obvious statement there as far as what we think of as
and
the
I think
Illuminati.
Right, and I think that's it. And that's the thing. They started out as the Illuminati, and then kind of, they got disbanded. Is that correct? You have a little deeper
they were,
here? Am I cutting you off before you get there?
Yeah, they went underground. They were basically banned by the Catholic Church.
Smart.
And many religious critics accused them of starting the French Revolution, which is interesting.
Now, I think if you guys remember back to our Federal Reserve talks, I don't know how much I got into the older stuff. I know when I read the book, all that was tied of bankers trying to control stuff and starting wars. These people who were doing it, the Rothschilds and the different types here, were very into finance and starting wars and creating agendas, because people are a lot easier to control when they have an enemy, and they also spend money when they're preparing for war. So there could be some truth to that.
Yep. And then here it says, originally they were called the Perfectibilists.
Now that's a good name. That should have stuck.
It didn't stick, though. It didn't stick. About 2 years that lasted before
we could start a podcast called
The Perfectibilists.
Exactly. I didn't even want to try.
What a terrible name. Now, I thought it was interesting. Because originally their original symbol was the owl of Minervers. That's that was like their original symbol.
Okay.
And that's the same owl that they have. What's that place called? Where they have the conspiracy. All the conspiracy nuts are trying to sneak into that place, and they do the big show with the owl and all that stuff.
That would be the Masons?
No, that's the Illuminati, man. That's what's that guy's name that was just on the Joe Rogan show? The guy that goes crazy.
Yeah, Infowars.
Infowars, yeah. Remember, he snuck in there and had all these pictures of that big owl and by the lake there.
Oh yeah.
But I know you're looking at the dollar trying to find that owl. It's in there, man.
It's in there.
It's in there.
All right, because that's what I was going to show you, but I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. But, all right, so they were chased underground, and then they kind of jumped in.
Yeah, then they kind of jumped in with the Freemasons. Yeah.
Now, the Freemasons are an offshoot of the Knights Templar, is that right?
I'm not sure about
Didn't
that.
they come out of that? I don't know. I just remember there was some kind of Knights Templar, then the Jesuits came out of that, because when they disbanded the Knights Templar, they kind of set up the whole Jesuit thing. And then they still, because remember the Catholic Church thought they were getting too strong and starting to have too much influence and whatever, and
then they lit their feet on fire until they admitted they're homosexuals.
You got to have standards, right?
Good stuff, man.
So the Jesuits were all crazy, and then this last pope is a Jesuit. And that was the big thing was, we got a pope that's a Jesuit. That's not right because they're an outside order. And so people are a little worried that, hey, maybe now the people trying to control things have maybe worked their way back into the Catholic Church. But... all right. I think we're getting past the
Getting a little off topic
topic. I mean, of where I wanted to take it, right? So, I mean, you could even go as far as to say the CIA has been affected,
Right.
and is heavily infiltrated by Masons and various
You just signed
members.
your death warrant by saying that, brother.
Oh, yeah.
We're in trouble now.
Then JFK gave his speech of, and that was the thing, I always heard, oh, well, you know, JFK was assassinated because he spoke out against the Federal Reserve. And I listened to the speech that they say, you know, is the big deal. And he doesn't really talk about the Federal Reserve. I had listened to this when I was doing the Federal Reserve podcast for us. But what he does is, he says, nobody likes secrets or secret societies. It's not what America is about. And this is really what led to his assassination, is what they're speculating. I don't really know and don't care. If you're focused on that, oh, Chuck's an idiot because he thinks that JFK was assassinated by some crazy conspiracy stuff, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is, he said he was going to expose a lot of the inner workings that were going on. That was all he said. He didn't expose anything. He said America doesn't like it, and we need to start digging in and get to the bottom of this stuff because it's going to be a problem. That's where people got concerned and said, oh, you know, it's really because he spoke out against that. But basically, the agenda is, it really seems they don't want independent thinkers. They want intelligence so they can blackmail and control. You know, they're kind of the right hand of people and like to be in the know rather than necessarily being the politician. They are basically people who want to influence things from afar and work to their end goal. So I guess where I go with this is they want to set it up so that they can control the people. And what does that mean? That means that you're dependent on the government. When you set up programs like welfare and all these different things, you're setting up so that you need government in order to survive. If you don't know how to take care of yourself without a handout from the government, if you can't prepare your food and your things without electricity and whatever, then you live a very fragile existence. And that's the problem. So all of a sudden the power goes out, something like that, you're ready to move into FEMA camps in 2 or 3 days because you don't have the way to take care of yourself. And that's what they're looking for. They're looking for you to be dependent and at their mercy. And, you know, that's generally how you control people. You control people with debt. You control people by, you know, making sure they can't take care of themselves. And the more they control, you know, they control your health care, they control your schools, they control everything, the more you're kind of stuck and at their mercy of, you know, what you're going to do. But then, even bigger than that, there are people working towards a one world government. You know, it's not about America. And it's weird because a lot of people believe that they actually kind of want to kill off and get rid of the Americans eventually as the end game so that they can have America, the land of milk and honey, for the leadership. And they basically want to control this and let the peasants kind of have the rest of the world and be subservient and, you know, producing for the elites to have. And you know what? The way it's presented, they seem to get off on the power and the controlling. And they seem to really want to be like, you know what? We're going to rule the world, and seem to really believe in the whole Satan thing. And yeah, you know, there's going to be a war between God and whatever. You know, the Bible talks about there's going to be, you know, earthquakes and all these things that are going to come. You talk about a bunch of plagues, locusts, beasts that, they said are have tails like scorpions and different things. It gets deep. But, I mean, these are things where, they want to be the savior that you turn to. And that's what they're working towards. I guess, all this is really just, you need to be able to take care of yourself. You need to be able to prepare. They talk about...
Be financially self-sufficient.
Financially self-sufficient, but even more than that, they control the dollars. They talk about the mark of the beast. Nobody will be able to buy or sell without...
Right, without the mark of the beast.
And, again, you may not accept it or believe it, but these people are working towards that goal, and they believe that's their role to fulfill. That's something they want to, take charge of and make it so that you can't buy or sell stuff. And you know what? The technology's there. The technology in most places, in America, is you can't run and hide away from the government.
Right.
And to set it up, if we get rid of cash, how many countries do we see now that are, trying to do away with cash and saying, oh, well, we can stop crime and stop drug stuff and all this stuff. That's like that stupid RFID chip they pushed on us. Oh, it'll make your credit card safer. How did it make any credit card safer? Because now people can walk by and scan your wallet, or they can take your number the old way. Either way they can get you. So you didn't solve anything. And all those damn readers take forever and a pain in my ass in the store.
Yeah, it's
I only
45
use
minutes
cash, but everybody in front of me is like, oh, do I use the chip? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, this is horrible. It's a nightmare. I don't want to go down that road. And if the mark of the beast is anything like that RFID chip where I have to wait in line, to do with it. Fuck that. So, these are the kind of things, that you want to watch out for. But if you lived in a world where you can't buy and sell anything in the regular stores, could you survive? Do you think about these things beforehand? And could it be 50 years out? Maybe. Could it be 100 years out? Maybe.
Could you live without a bank account?
The disciples of, Jesus thought, oh, he's coming back any day. This is all going to happen. Book of Revelation, it's going to happen in their lifetime.
Right.
So I don't want to be like, the end is nigh. That's probably not. I've been watching a lot of this show on Netflix, No Tomorrow.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. The guy is pretty certain that a asteroid is going to hit the world and take it out. And so in the beginning, they kind of recap back to the first episode, and he's like, well, the end is nigh. And it just, So anyway, a little off task there. But you guys appreciate a little anecdote. But he was right. So you said, how long can you go without a bank account? These are the things you need to think about. Again, maybe you're down. Maybe you're like, fuck it. Well, I'll get the mark of the beast, and I'll be able to freaking, buy and sell anything I want. Everything will be cool. Well, all right. Then you're in. See, you're prepping. You're prepared.
Prepared to get the mark.
You might be able to do some kind of black market dealing. You might really be able to set up the networks. So, there's some benefits both ways here. So, but just understanding what people's goals are and what they're trying to do, it definitely, helps you prepare. Now, I guess the way they were always trying to sell it is, like, if we had a one world government, we could end all wars. You could avoid kind of conflict between, nations, basically. If we were all working together, there's a lot of nice, happy ideas. Socialism sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, socialism is a great idea if it worked.
It works on the family level, right? Your kids don't do shit. They get to eat food and whatever. I mean,
not my kids, man.
Well, not your kids.
They gotta work. They got a sweatshop set up in the basement and everything.
But, it works on a small scale. It works if everybody is good, honest, decent people. And everybody wanted the same thing. But it turns out it doesn't work that way. But, so they're looking for, that. They're looking to get to that end game. it's all, I'm not trying to be stupid and mythical and the whole thing. I just realize that people are working towards this. Pay attention to what's going on in the world. Pay attention to what's around you. And realize, everybody isn't playing the same game.
Right.
You and me, we're just trying to, make money, feed our family, take care of people, enjoy life, drink beer, grow beards, shoot guns, have a great time.
Well, we should be talking about, are you running right now?
Yeah. No, we're making a podcast.
All right.
It
the red light is on.
The red light is on. We need a big, But, so, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, those are what we're after. That's what we're all about, is having a good time, enjoying family, enjoying friends. I'm just saying, take 2 minutes, pay attention to the world. And I don't mean you need to listen to things, whatever. Just kind of realize, hey, we got to be a little bit of the prepper guy, too. You're not crazy just because you think the world is all, falling apart. Maybe it is. Just putting that out there. So, that's what I had to say about that. I know nobody wants to hear my ranting and raving. I do have to say, some of you guys are stepping it up with the Patreon. Throwing us a couple bucks, and we appreciate it. That's pretty cool. We don't do this to make a killing, because if we did, the $5 or whatever we brought in so far, really, we're pretty bad at what we do, if that's our goal. But, no, the point is, it does cost a couple bucks to keep this going and whatever. We did, shell out some money for microphones, and I think it cost me $20 a month to, have a an account that hosts podcasts. So I said, you know what? I really do appreciate you guys taking care of us. So that's cool. And, thank you. But otherwise, what is going on in the news? What do you got?
Been getting into these leaked conversations between Trump aides and Russia.
Today, and again, it'll be earlier this week or whatever when I put this podcast up, but Trump gave a big press conference, and he kind of was like, I was talking to the president of Mexico, and that's supposed to be a private conversation and secure. And he goes, and then I'm reading about the whole conversation in the paper, and that might be a problem if our people who are doing the listening don't really have the, tight lips.
Right.
That's kind of not cool. These are people we trust with our security. And, I know not everybody's on board with Trump and whatever, but still the law is the law. You got to kind of play the game.
Right.
You don't take the job unless you're prepared to do it.
Yeah, no, I think that's the sort of stuff that ought to end up people in prison, but it never really does.
No.
Nobody ever gets in trouble for these things.
No.
I think Scooter Libby was the last one that actually got in trouble for anything.
Yeah, no, exactly. There's no,
But I mean, that's how it goes, right? When you're rich and powerful, you don't go to jail.
Nah.
Rich white people don't go to jail.
No, not white people. Now, I did go by a house today that had a sign out front that said, "I love my Muslim neighbor."
Okay.
And then they had another sign next to it, "Black Lives Matter."
Okay.
And I was not sure how that's going to work. Because I'm not even sure those two groups can get together in the same room.
Well, it works out if you're the Nation of Islam.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was trying to get my head. I was trying to join the Nation of Islam, but they don't let white people in.
They don't like white. No, white people can't.
But that's no big deal. I think of myself.
Moved on.
I think of myself as a black man in a white man's body.
Yeah,
you know?
I've thought that about you.
I get nervous about cops shooting me.
Yeah,
I'm serious. It's not even a joke.
No?
No.
Oh, it's a sad day for America. Now, what else? So, basically, it's a little concerning. I mean, people are just, releasing phone conversations like crazy, and, oh, wouldn't this be great if we put this in the paper? And,
right.
I don't know. It's a lot of sabotage going on here with Trump, and it is a little disturbing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Honestly, I'm getting a little tired of his his fake news CNN. I guess he just upgraded it to very fake news CNN.
Very fake news.
Yeah,
See?
so
he's got a new agenda coming.
I don't know.
No?
I think of CNN as being at least somewhat reliable, but
you're more
they
optimistic
definitely don't like
than
Trump.
me. They don't like Trump.
No.
I'll give you that.
But I'm not watching Fox News for my news either.
No, I hear you there.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're pretty messed up.
Just listen to us, man. We got all the info.
Really, you know what? We're going to keep you guys up to date.
All right.
I mean, I'm telling you about freaking, I don't know.
The New World
Gold
Order.
foil
Donald
babies.
Trump. Yeah,
and
we got this.
God
covered.
knows what. You know, we got you. So you should really be shutting the other stuff off. And, you know, and you're like, well, gee, Chuck, there's 7 days in the week. You're putting out one podcast a week. Listen to it 7 times. And what would be even better is if you download it 7 times.
Get deleted every day and
Delete
download
it once a
the next
day, and then be like, you know, I'm feeling like
Well, I
the
guess we got
Survival
up
and Basic
to,
Badass podcast.
Well, we got up almost 1,000 downloads a day the other day, 900.
Couple days, yeah, we had on, you know, like 850, 900,
Mm-hmm.
twice, 3 times.
That's not too shabby.
No, we're trying to step it up. You know what? If you guys haven't yet, it would be cool if you hit the subscribe button.
Mm-hmm.
Try not to miss an episode.
Right.
You know, that way it helps us with our numbers and advertisers and whatever, because you hear all the advertising we're putting on the podcast.
We're trying to work into it.
And, you know, so.
Honestly, I'd just be happy if somebody sent me a free knife to try out.
Oh, yeah, that's really, I mean, I'm still waiting for the free night vision is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Night vision. So, also, you guys want to shoot us an email, anything you want to hear. We're got a couple episodes coming up, making your own electricity for off the grid. That's coming up. One of you requested that. Fuel storage, we're going to get into that.
Yeah, that's definitely an important one when the gas pumps go out.
Yeah,
you know, even just saving your gas from fall to next spring, you know.
Tell that to my boat, is what I can tell you. My crappy old rusty boat. No, but that's the thing. I mean, you know, when you guys request stuff, we're not forgetting about you. One, we're a couple episodes ahead when we record them. That way, when things come up, you know, we're able to cover for it. But two, we try and actually put the time to plan out what we're going to talk about.
Right.
And not, you know, come across like idiots. You know, hopefully, you know, sometimes we have some episodes like this, which we actually, believe it or not, put some time into putting this one together. But, you know, sometimes we talk about lighter things, whatever. People seem to like different stuff. But, you know, and we're going to start getting back into a lot of, you know, serious stuff. The spring's coming up. We're starting to get the homesteads ready. A lot of that kind of stuff. So don't fret. You know, your time's coming. Mm-hmm. But, you know, we put some research into stuff. I usually, you know, half our episodes, if I plan it out, I'll spend a week or 2 weeks reading a book, reading 2 books, downloading a couple audio books, different stuff to make sure we give you information that's worth hearing.
Right.
And, you know, we actually do put some effort into it. So we appreciate you guys listening. We appreciate you coming back every week. You know, maybe leave us a review on the iTunes. Let us know.
Yeah, send us an email and let us know if you got some topic ideas.
Shoot us an email, what you want to hear, you know. Don't sit and bitch and say, you know what, you're not giving us good content unless you tell me what you freaking want.
That's right.
So let's hear from you. preppingbadass@gmail.com. And otherwise, stay safe, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today. Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.